Hello, it's George again. If you fancy reading something absolutely childish that quite possibly may well be the most offensive thing you've ever read, then buy my best-selling book. You can also sign up for my Patreon for hundreds of hours of exclusive content and, of course, check out my own Funkyspectrum website for more videos. Links will be in the description, and like and subscribe here if you want to be kept up to date with all the nonsense on YouTube. Now, let's get to the video. Hello, it's George again, and this is Fire Attack on the Game & Watch, one of the widescreen Game & Watches. Really beautiful unit this. I think it's a really great looking console, great looking handheld. I'm not really sure if it really fits in with the theme of the situation, but I suppose orange and red and fire and such like. But it's a bit of a time capsule, this one. You have to see what you think of it. I think people may say it's a little politically incorrect, but of course it's on George's channel, so anything goes, and anything does indeed go in a fire attack. Okay, well here, oh bloody hell, there's a chap coming in from the left already. What have we got to presumably, oh there we go, just got to smash them on top of the head. Oh, this is interesting actually, interesting game, as is obviously this chap is corralled inside a literal corral with presumably his relatives and family and such like, and they've all got perhaps as of yet unbroken anuses, and they all have their scalps intact, and these people, these Native American abos, are making their way in to try and ensure that that's not going to be the case for very fucking long. And this chap, all he's doing is defending his homestead, and this disgusting onslaught of American Aborigines coming and literally trying to take the home away from this poor American chap, as he bloody Native Americans don't know where they get off, really. I mean, it's an absolute fucking disgrace, and I know it's maybe a bit politically incorrect, but I'm glad the Japanese touched on this and put a spotlight on this horrendous, the American unsung genocide that took place as a result of the Native American Abo having a really bloody strong go at the actual American, the real Americans, as we would call them nowadays. But yeah, this place he's corralled inside his corral, and he's defending himself, and he's got every right to defend his land and his family. It's exactly what he's doing. That was chucking a burning brand in as well. It's a bloody unbelievable behaviour. It's not the way to do things. Now, this is Game A, as you can see in the top left, and Game A on these is often, I say on the older versions, it's often just an easier version of the game, but I don't know what happens on this. I've never played it before, so there may be a Game B that's got slightly different enemies or adversaries, or it may just be like a lot of the old, especially the single screen ones that had a Game A and Game B, it was just basically slightly faster. It would start you to slightly higher skill level, you'd maybe get more points, or it would just yeah, it would just be a little bit more difficult. There'd be more mobs, as it were, more mobs of Native American abos, and there could hardly be more of them at the moment. There's bloody loads absolutely pouring in, but it just takes one intelligent, true American with a hammer to keep these belligerent native bastards at bay, and that's just as bloody well because there's a bloody horde of them. And obviously having a squat mallet is, well, it's going to put you in a position of power when you're against people who are similarly who's singularly armed with just a burning piece of wood. It's pathetic, really. I mean, it probably took them about 16 weeks. Well, it'd have taken about the length of time it took to build this corral in itself for them to even get a bloody box of tinder together or some matches on the go or something like that. It's pathetic, really, and they're so glad, so lucky that we brought them alcoholism and casinos. But oh Jesus Christ, that guy nearly got to the top there. But I think I'm about done on this stage. I love the look of this handheld as well. I really like the look of this one. I'm pretty sure, oh bloody hell, I'm pretty sure there was another game that looked like this. Oh Jesus Christ, my bloody eyes are melting out of my skull there. And thankfully the smoke's died down, presumably the females, and oh yeah, Jesus Christ, there's a lob coming from the left there. That was unusual. Presumably the women and the little boys inside have managed to summon up enough urine to put out the fire that's turned up. That's all you need to quell a fire attack, is urine. Try quelling the attack of a blunderbuss or a battlefield pistol straight to the face with a load of urine. You get that from Indians, I believe, back in those days. The American abo would simply just start leaking water from their groin when a pistol was aimed at their face after they previously witnessed one of their friends' heads being completely destroyed by it. Absolutely pathetic response to having a gun levelled at you, and it's no wonder that gun crime is so... Oh, bloody hell, I've been let up again. In fact, I'm going to go into Game B and have a look at this. It doesn't seem to be changing particularly much. So, anyway, let's just have a look at Game B. Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to reset it. There we go. It's a little reset. Game B. Oh, bloody hell. A chap... I'm holding the pad at the wrong angle. A chap starting off already. These controls are a bit weird. They're sort of off diagonals. They're quite strange. I've programmed my A, B, X, Y controls on my pad, and I'm actually holding my pad at a right angle to myself in order for it to make sense. And yeah, in fairness, this Game B does look pretty much like it's going to be just exactly the same as Game A, but with slightly more abos kicking about, which is good. Because they were horrendously quelled in number. As I think I mentioned, General Custer was well known for actually corralling. He would get about 60 or 80 together and put them in a trench, then just squirt lighter fluid all over them and set them on fire. So presumably that may well have been where they got the idea from fire from. They may well have even broken into one of the American camps and stolen, say, a spray can of WD-40 and just been like furiously rubbing sticks together while they're spraying onto it. Another burning brand coming. It's put me in mind of another. Burning brand. I'll tell you bloody what. I'll fucking tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. I would absolutely love to see Russell Brand thrown on a funeral pyre. Or perhaps, even better, actually, so he didn't become a martyr, to burn himself to death. Not immolation, self-immolation would be absolutely wonderful. Just holding a billy can of petrol above his head and glugging it down upon himself. Just and just before he goes, say, praise be to Jesus Christ. Praise be to Christy Wisty, or whatever he would fucking say, some fucking childish stupidity. And then just before he lights himself up with a smile on his face, and his fans will think to themselves, actually, do you know what? So he didn't think he was the Messiah after all. Definitely Jesus hasn't returned, and thank fuck he's not returned in the guise of Russell Brand. Just while meanwhile in the background he's rolling around on the ground going, Jesus Christ! Somebody put it out! And that noise is when his mouth melts shut, when the skin on his mouth melts shut and all the teeth sort of melt out of his gums and get stuck, and he starts to look like a sloth off the Goonies, only an anorexic version. Anyway, not a bad game, this Fire Attack. Could be better, quite interesting, little bit racist perhaps a little bit of its time, and even then it was probably pushing the boat out a little bit. But anyway, okay, bye.